Okay, I'd like to just start a pen exercise. Let's go into the File menu to Open, and let's open 037shapes.ai. Click Open, go into the View menu to Fit All in Window, and this document has just one artboard. I'm going to hold down the Command key and spacebar or the Control key and spacebar to temporarily access the Zoom tool, and I'm going to click and drag around the umbrella and zoom in. And before we start tracing, I notice that up here in the title bar that we are in outline mode. So I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut to switch to preview mode, Command Y or Control Y, and now we're in preview mode. And I see over here in the Tools panel that we have the default colors, fill with white, stroke with black, but I'm going to change the fill color to none by clicking on the little none symbol, and now we have no fill and a black stroke. So as always before I use the pen tool, first I'm going to click on the white arrow, the direct selection tool, and then I'm going to click on the pen tool. That way, when I hold down the Command key or Control key, I get temporary access to the white arrow, the direct selection tool. Or I could use the keyboard shortcuts. I could use the letter A to select the white arrow direct selection tool, and the letter P to select the pen tool. Okay, I'm going to start with the umbrella handle. Looks pretty easy. Looks like it's just straight lines. I'm going to click once in the lower left-hand corner, and then click in the upper left-hand corner, the upper right-hand corner, the lower right-hand corner, and then I'm going to hover over the beginning point, the beginning anchor point, until I see a little tiny white circle next to the pen icon, and I'm going to click. Okay, now we have a closed shape, a closed path, and I'm going to hold down the Command key or Control key to temporarily access the white arrow, and I'm just going to click where there is nothing in order to deselect the handle. And when I release the Command key or Control key, I'm back into the pen tool. I'm going to come up here to the left side of the top of the umbrella, and I see a little tiny X next to the pen tool. That tells me I'm getting ready to draw a brand new path, and I'm going to click and drag here, and I'm going to align that direction line kind of with the curve that I'm getting ready to draw. Release the mouse and move over here to the right side of the umbrella and click and drag down. Now that segment is not quite where I would like it to be, but I'm going to move along anyway and hold down the Option key in order to make this direction line two independent direction lines. So holding on the Alt key, I'll move this handle, and now I have an independent direction line, and I'm going to move that direction line up so that it aligns with the curve that I'm about ready to draw. So I'll release the mouse, release the Option key or Alt key, and I'm going to move over here where the next anchor point goes and click and drag. Now I just rotate the direction line around the anchor point. I make the direction line longer and shorter. I just keep doing that until the path is about where I would like it to be. And once again we have a radical change in direction, so I'm going to hold down the Option key or Alt key and move the handle so that now I have two independent direction lines. And I'm going to move that handle so that direction line lines up about with the curve that I'm getting ready to draw. Release the mouse, release the Option key or Alt key, and move to the next place where we're going to put an anchor point, and click and drag over here. Once again, just move the direction line until the path is about where I would like it. Hold down the Option key or Alt key and move this handle to get two independent direction lines. And then I'm going to align this direction line with the curve that I'm getting ready to draw. Release the mouse, release the Option key or Alt key, and now I'm going to hover over the beginning anchor point until I see a little white circle next to the pen tool icon, and then I'm going to click and drag. Okay, well that doesn't look quite the way it should, but I'm going to hold down the Command key or Control key to get temporary access to the white arrow direct selection tool, and then I'm going to add the Option key or Alt key. And I'm going to click on this direction handle here and start moving it. Now I have two independent direction lines. And I'm going to move this handle up toward the top of the umbrella here until the top line segment aligns about with the template like that, and release the mouse and release the other keys. Well, over here on the left hand side it's still not quite right, so I'm going to hold down the Command key or Control key, get the white arrow and click on that handle over here, and then move it down a little bit until that line segment is about where it should be, and release the mouse, and that looks more like it. Still holding down the Command key and Control key, I'll click over here with the white arrow in order to deselect the umbrella, and that looks about right. So I'm going to scroll down and look at the ice cream truck or ambulance or whatever this is, and I just wanted to point out that if you can use a shape tool instead of the pen tool, you should definitely do so, because it's much easier to use a shape tool than it is the pen tool. So I'm going to go over here and click on the rectangle tool and go down and get my ellipse tool, and then come over here to where the tire is, hold down the Option key in order to draw from the center, and add the Shift key in order to make it a perfect circle. So I'm going to click and drag with the ellipse tool until I get a circle that's about the shape of the tire, release the mouse, and release the other keys. Now I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut to get to the black arrow selection tool, the letter V as in Victor. And I'm going to make a copy of this circle and move it to the right. So first I'm going to hold down the Option key or Alt key. That tells Illustrator I want to make a copy. Then I'm going to click on the circle and add the Shift key to constrain it to a horizontal movement. So when I drag to the right, a copy of that circle moves exactly to the right of the previous circle, and I release the mouse and release the other keys. Okay, well, we see that our template is not exactly on horizontal ground, so I'm going to have to use the down arrow and just move that circle down a little bit until it actually does align more with the tire. Okay, and now I'm going to go back and get my rectangle tool and come over here to the window and hold down the Option key in order to draw a rectangle from the center. Click and drag with the rectangle tool until I have a shape that's about the shape of the window there. Release the mouse and release the Option key or Alt key, and now I'm ready to draw the rest of the truck using the pen tool.